Facebook actually came for me like a couple weeks ago. I just didn't tell anybody. Facebook removed all my advertising. So none of my video content on Facebook, I won't make a penny off Facebook. And it's because of my content. They didn't tell me exactly what was wrong with my content, just that it violates rules. Then they send me a link that has all these rules in it that are very unspecific. But here's the basics of the rules on Facebook. You can't talk about politics. You can't talk about race. You can't talk about gender. You can't talk about social economic issues, like being broke. There was like 10 other things, religion, orientation. It's like all these things you cannot talk about. So basically what Facebook wants you to do is to talk about the weather, cats, your baby pictures. I don't know, because, you know, and we all know this is BS, right? Because they have shows on Facebook that discuss things that are going on in the world. How can you discuss the world without discussing politics, race, relationships, social, economic? How can you have that show with Jada Pinkett Smith, Red Table, without talking about money or relationships or gender or race or politics or nothing? It's like, how can you do that? So they made it basically it's a way to get rid of people they don't like. Yeah, if they figure, if they come to the conclusion that they don't like your content, they can just say you violated something and make it so impossible to defend it that everybody violates it, except for people with cat videos, shit like that. So, and cursing, don't curse. YouTube is demonetizing everyone as well. I heard that like 5 or 6 people got hit yesterday and 5 or 6 the day before that, and it's just crazy. Like, it's no rhyme or reason. No one getting told anything specific, but just getting demonetized. What they talk about that was so bad. What was it? I don't mean a video. I mean nothing they put out will they ever make a dime from YouTube. No super chat, no nothing. And I think it's just YouTube's way of getting rid of what they don't want. It's amazing that Facebook started and then YouTube went right behind them. And just to give you a glimpse of how bad it is, the first person I heard to get banned to get demonetized on Facebook was David Pakman. And we all know David Pakman is not controversial. Right? That's right. And I have more respect for David now because I see how hard he works. I'm always so busy doing my own thing. I rarely watch other people's content. And he doesn't curse. He doesn't get too, spicy. And so the point is, if they demonetize David Pakman covering House Judiciary proceedings, I don't have a chance in hell. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's all just a matter of time. So anybody who thought about getting into this because they thought, oh, easy money, just talk. Okay. Don't quit your day job. Just, you broke our rules. What broke your rules? Just stuff you did. We looked at your stuff and decided you broke the rules, so. That's it, Johnson. Now, they say Facebook will review it in 90 days. So there you go with that. What else? Oh, I said all of that to say this, guys. Censorship is bad. Now, somebody said, Tim, that's what you get because you were supporting censorship. I've never supported censorship. That's crazy. Oh, you mean because when Trump got kicked off Twitter, I said I wasn't going to cry a bucket of tears for him, but I said I knew it was coming for the rest of us. Because that's what they always done. This is not the first time they've done this. I've been doing this for a decade, Johnson. Every couple of years, they clean house. I know it's new to you, and I get that. Also, let me also add this. one reason why I wouldn't cry for Donald Trump is that he's supposedly a billionaire. He could put up his own platform tomorrow. It's really hard to censor somebody who's rich. He doesn't need Twitter to talk to people. He could make an app tomorrow. And let's say knocked him out of the Apple store or the Google store, millions of people would download it tomorrow. I know you want me to feel sorry for one of the most powerful people on the planet, but I can't find a way to feel sorry for him. I'd rather feel sorry for people in independent media who get screwed, not Donald Trump. I hope that makes sense. I thought the horseshoe thing was weird, but it's real. So I don't support the death penalty and I don't support censorship. No matter how bad it is, I can't support censorship. Because they always use to go after the good guys. That's what they do. Now, but this is the other thing I want to say, guys, is we need to stop coming after each other for stuff like this. Do you really think Facebook or YouTube was like, let's ban Trump. If we ban Trump and they go along with it, then we'll go after other people. Let me see what these Twitter people who, these progressives or these conservatives have to say about this. Let's see what the progressives are saying in the Twitter comments before we make our decision. No, man. What you say and what I say or what we think in a YouTube video or in a tweet or in a thread on Twitter does not impact what YouTube decides to do, what Facebook decides to do. Please stop over-exaggerating the power that we have. We have no power. If we had power, there wouldn't be censorship. So stop blaming regular people for what corporations, mega corporations decide to do. Stop it. Whether you like it or not, whether you thought Trump should get kicked off Twitter, didn't change the fact that they banned him. You weren't going to stop that. How are you going to stop them from doing that? You can't. It's just another excuse for you to go after other people with no power just like you. Just like I had no control over them banning me. I had no control over them banning Trump. That's crazy talk. Oh, I can't, we was going to ban Trump, but then Banana Peel 63 said it wasn't good. So that's it. We won't ban him because of that person on Twitter with the dog emoji. I mean, sometimes I don't know what people are thinking, man. No, they don't care what we think, Johnson. That's the problem. They don't care. And look, guys, if they care what we thought, would they ban someone who has 70 million? How many followers did Trump have? Seriously, guys, so how many followers did Trump have? I mean, over 70 million people voted for him, and they still banned him. And you think you and I having a conversation in a thread on Twitter was going to impact them more than the 70 million people that voted for him to stop them from banning Trump? No, it didn't. They didn't care. Stop. It's like we continually put too much pressure on people with no power. I don't understand why we do it. We all know it's the big people, it's the man, it's the system. We know that, right? We all know it. But we go after each other. I don't get it. For what? Because you're bored? There's nothing else to do? So you're going to go after these people with no power? The only power we have is to create our own platforms. And look, and I just want to say, man, to the other people who have been hit with this demonetization, this ain't just about me. Look out for those folks, man. Just because I differ with them, a lot of folks philosophically and ideology and a lot of stances and some of the stuff, the hills they want to die on and all that stuff, that does not mean I think they should have to go away. It does not mean I want them to lose their homes or able to support themselves or things that they've been working on for years. I do not feel that way. Now, some of them may feel that way about me or not. It doesn't matter. That's who I am. Of course, we still have a long memory over some of the stuff, but you got to put that aside. Put it aside when it comes to people being able to take care of their families. We're in COVID-19 and they are demonetizing people. and COVID-19. This is the way these people are making a living, and you're taking the money out of their pockets without even specific problems or specific allegations of what they've done, with no warning. So, I mean, if you ever just want a clear example, I mean, we had clear examples of how little we mean to them. I mean, the stock thing. I mean, is there anybody left on planet Earth that thinks America gives working people a fair shake? I mean, the stock thing was a clear indication. The most basic. Rules were one way. Little guy made some money, they changed the rules. Yeah, soon you weren't supposed to win. Soon as you start winning, time to change the rules. Yeah, as soon as you started to win. That's what they do. So if you doubted, if you doubted 1%, 1% of you doubted that the corporations of the United States, the United Corporations of America was all about corporations, all about money, all about the top 1% or what have you. If you doubted that at all, Johnson, you need not doubt it anymore. You saw it. We don't have no fair markets. All these Republicans and conservatives talk about fair markets. Libertarians talking about fair markets. Where? Where's there a fair market? The root of this demonetization thing is just to make room for CNN and MSNBC and all these other networks who can't compete with us. And we know that TV's dead. Cable news is a dinosaur. Nobody wants to listen to that. They want people with personality. They want people with a point of view. They want people to tell it to them straight. So they can't compete with us, so what do they got to do? They got to lean on Facebook and lean on YouTube, because really, do you think Facebook and YouTube give a darn what we talk about? They don't care, man. Their job was to put you in front of advertisers. So I know this is a money play. First they were on cable news, right? They look down at us. These little people on this independent stuff. And then when people stopped watching them, they said, hey, what's going on YouTube? I remember when you used to go to YouTube and look for news, you see nothing but independent news. Now, if you search news on YouTube, you have to go 4 pages deep to find anything independent media that's not ABC, CBS, Fox News, Bloomberg, CNN. You got to dig, man. You got to dig to find this now. I still find, occasionally, I find people that have been on YouTube for 10 years, I didn't even know they existed, because they're so buried in the algorithm. So buried in the algorithm. So just to put a nice point on this, a bow on it, we don't support censorship. Don't support censorship. I mean, not unless you're like, how can I say this? I don't want anybody to get censored. I want people to get rid of them. Stop watching them. Don't watch the garbage. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse, Johnson. But it's not our fault. Don't blame us. Don't blame regular folks. Well, if you want to blame somebody, blame the Trump supporters that ran up into the Capitol. Blame them and blame the cops who held the doors. And blame the Pentagon. Blame that, because that was the catalyst for this. You do get that, right? They use that. These people say, and blame the people now going to court who are looking at time going, Trump told me to, which further supports the idea to censor. Because we got people now going to court, and instead of saying they decided to do this, that they decided to go on the Capitol, they're saying Trump told them. And how did Trump tell them? Social media. So what are they going to do? Censor social media. Because we all know we're all as influential as Trump. Yeah, I'm just as influential as Donald Trump, man. The president of the United States. That's right. I'm powerful, man. You know I'm being sarcastic, right? Let me just make sure. Sometimes people say, people don't catch sarcasm.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.